All right, you've bet your bingy points. Let's look at the card. Toxic masculinity. Worries about divorce. Crazy hypothetical. Just make shit up. Slur. Slob. Oh, God. Boy. Ableism. Dave Growl. Again. Rage quit. Yelling. Piss break. Jackass. Pretends to fuck. Rent-free. Rat's ass. Yikes, Dave. Ooh, good. Talking about Hitler was a socialist. Good one for a yikes, Dave. Virtue signal. Mr. Whiskers misunderstands. Mr. Whiskers shout out. Stereotype slow brain sweetheart. Shut up.
Have a fantastic day.
Manic Jack Attack giving one a Tesla coil as well. Fuck yeah. Thank you so much, man. 2-piece. A 2-piece. All right. I'm ready. I'm ready, dude. Let's go. I'm gonna turn this. Okay, so this is an a YouTube gloop joint, but Underhaven is involved. Talking. I'm gonna give. I don't know how loud this is.
To drum up this idea of, oh, we're going to do something for the people, we're going to do something for the workers. But when it actually comes to like policy for policy, when he got into power, like he didn't do anything that was anything near fucking a socialist. It also wasn't.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He did see several private businesses and turn them to the Nazi war effort, for example. He did do that. He did seize all means of newspaper production, book publication.
So, him taking authoritarian control in a fascist government of industry is not, in fact, the people having means to production, Dave. Misunderstands. Easy one.
Movie production or film production. I'll just call it that. I don't want to say movie.
You don't want to say movie?
Just because, and I don't know if television was a thing in Germany, but
you know that this can all be tied back to like authoritarianism. This is not synonymous with like socialism.
But generally,
like
socialism does lead into authoritarianism. It usually and almost always has.
I mean, it can, but it doesn't. I think to say that it always does.
I mean, I'd love for you to give me the example where it doesn't.
Where it doesn't?
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Well, here's the thing.
Don't go in the Nordic countries. They're more capitalist than we are.
The Nordic countries are not more capitalist than we are, by the way. Socialism is an aspect of pretty much every government on the planet. We are absolutely the most capitalist. Everything, we charge for everything here. We don't have healthcare, Dave. Anybody on Cobb? Speak up now. Yeah, sure. Here you go. Tally Cat. I'll add him. I'll put him over here.
I'm not gonna use them as a fucking example. No, you see, you need to stop looking at it in such a black and white way. There are elements of fucking socialism even in this country.
Yes,
it's
largely
about
capitalist.
I hope you
sure, exactly, but it's about finding that. It's about finding that right
problem. Thank you for giving one to Tally Cat. Chat, you have a little momentum.
Mix between like how many social programs you have, how what's private, what's public industry. There's a lot of nuance here, and like I feel like you're trying to oversimplify things.
I agree.
Even though, I'm just reciting history.
He's not.
Okay,
Hitler would seize private businesses for the Nazi war effort, and they weren't just Jewish businesses.
That's not socialism.
That does not.
Now, a lot of people, now to be completely, I guess I hate to use this word to the Nazis, but fair, a lot of people willingly gave their shit up because Hitler did have that entire country in a trance.
Exactly. Well, a lot of people were manipulated using shit like the nonsense label that was the actual fucking party's name.
Manic Jack Attack giving one a critical rad theory. Fuck yeah. Another one. Thank you very much.
And by the time that he had actually fucking
hitting everybody,
power, which I showed you right here,
everybody's getting a sub. I'm sure they love to give up their stuff, right?
whatever that party had been, it might have had some people in it who were actually like, did have fucking socialist ideologies and shit. But by the time that he had taken power, all those fucking people had been fucking killed or taken out.
Hitler was a socialist. He believed in National Socialism.
He did not believe in National Socialism. He believed specifically in ethno-nationalist supremacy, and to like specifically used things like healthcare to carry out fucking like genocide, man. Like that was the whole thing. To make sure that he had palingenetic. What, he was a palingenetic ultra-nationalist? Wow.
No, he doesn't. You can take a look at his writings.
You can take a look.
I'm thinking of a word, but I can't think of it for some reason. It's just on the tip of my tongue. You'd think this would only happen while I'm smoking weed, but actually it just happens all the time. National Socialism is not socialism, like how anarcho-capitalism is not anarchy. Right.
You can take a look at several Nazi leaders' writings.
Mm-hmm. Here's a real fucking quick thing I want to show you from Britannica. Same thing that we were taking a look at earlier. There's an entire article that they did about this, where the Nazi socialists, no, not in any meaningful way, and certainly not after 1934. But to address this candid failure, one must begin with the birth of the party.
Canard.
And then it goes into detail about basically an expanded upon version of what was said here. That is a label that did not apply.
They were national fascists because they certainly weren't capitalists.
Yeah, they were capitalists. What? They were. Yeah, they were. They were expansionist, authoritarian, definitely capitalist. Fascism is capitalism in crisis. Wow, bars. Is that yours? Whose quote is that? Is it yours? I like that.
Yes, they were fascists. That's why fucking Hitler was best buds with Mussolini. They had a lot in fucking common. And all those fucking things that you're trying to like bring up as like symptoms of like, oh, this is very socialist. That's just authoritarianism. Which,
man.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people who identify as socialists,
but socialism can't exist without authoritarianism.
That's not true, man. That's just not how it works.
In my opinion.
In my opinion.
I mean,
I'm going to call this a stereotype. We hear this enough.
So let's be honest here. I'm assuming you have a job and you go to work and you get a paycheck. Do you not?
Yeah, this is my job. I come to work. I walk from the living room to this chair.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you willing to share that paycheck with everyone in your neighborhood? I'm assuming no.
What do you mean, like through... It's crazy. Okay, so if your needs are met, your paycheck being used to help other people, I would absolutely help my neighbors if they needed help. I mean, like, we keep the roads good. I pay my property taxes. I fucking we have amenities that are we have road work and stuff that happens all the time. We have other infrastructure. I know America's infrastructure could get better, and it is getting a little bit better in my state. If my neighbor needs help, right? Like if my neighbor, which I don't know very well, like these people over here are pretty nice. This one over here we don't ever talk, but these people over here are pretty nice. They have kids though. I'm not trying to hang out with people with a bunch of kids. They have like 5 kids. I'm good.
I hope you guys have a fantastic day.
But if they were like literally, this is a true story. Screwbucket, thanks for 36 months. Yes, thank you. I agree, Screwbucket. This is a true story. Sarah wanted Domino's the other day, like a month ago, and the Domino's delivery driver dropped it off at the wrong house because they can't look at numbers or something. And so the person over here was like, "Hey, did you order pizza? Someone gave me pizza." And I was like, "Yeah," but I had ordered like one of those combo things from Domino's because it was cheaper to get like pizza and bread and like cinnamon sticks and a drink than it was to just get pizza, bread, and a drink. So I was like, hey, because they have like little girls over there or something. I don't know which ones are their kids or anything, but there was 2 little girls hanging out with the lady that came over, and I assume she was watching them. I see them play sometimes out in the yard, and they were just looking. I don't know. They were kind of. I could see on their faces that they were like, "Damn, we're giving this guy pizza when we thought we could get pizza." So I gave them the cinnamon sticks. I don't even know them. Do you think if they needed help, I wouldn't fucking help? Like, of course, man. Come on, dude.
I mean,
socialism demand. That's the thing. Communism never worked because we all work jobs.
Communism or socialism, man?
But at least under capitalism, I get overtime.
At least I get overtime. Okay, so it's crazy that you're like overtime is good, and then when Bernie Sanders advocates for you to get more overtime than you're getting now, you're like, nope, that's bad. You know what I'm saying? Cuck. Huge.
This
cuck.
is what I mean. But what I'm saying, you're looking at it into black and white way because we already do that with with how taxes work.
Communism is a classless, stateless, moneyless society. Right. I don't think communism is tenable in our lifetimes. I think socialism absolutely is.
That's kind of inherent to having a country.
Yes, I tend to act. Believe it or not, you and me are in complete agreement. That's why I want taxes and entitlement programs to be much, much less.
What?
What I care about is that the fucking political red tape isn't there, so that the money that's being collected in taxes is actually going in places where it needs to go, places that otherwise are not going to be fucking taken care of. Like,
Believe it or not,
me and you were actually on the same page. I find it ridiculous that we pass a $40 million school budget increase, or a budget.
40 million? Why are you upset about $40 million? That's less than like an NFL quarterback makes. You know?
Budget increase.
You mean 40 billion, maybe?
For schools.
$40 million isn't going to do anything.
And at the end of the day, the students may see $1,000 each of that money.
They won't see $1,000 each of that money if it's only 40 million. What?
Exactly.
Most of it is given to the superintendent and their basically staff that doesn't need to exist.
So you think capitalism leads to corruption, Dave? Very fascinating.
But I don't think the inherent problem is the taxation. I think the inherent problem is just the fact that there's just so much political red tape that doesn't allow that money to actually get to the people.
I think there's
It's capitalism, Underhaven.
so many useless political positions
That's the problem.
myself.
Bureaucracy is a problem within capitalism insofar as distributing the necessary money that you need to have your needs met. But capitalism is the roadblock that keeps you from getting your needs met before the bureaucrats even get a hold of that shit, right? So.
Okay, could you provide an example?
Well, it's like a corporation. You take over a business. What's one of the first departments you cut? Department of Human Resources. HR.
Yeah, I was going to say
it does
HR,
nothing.
yeah.
Why does a superintendent? Why do they need assistant superintendents? They don't. Just
I really think they don't cut HR first. I think they cut general employees first. I think they just fire people and like lay people off. I think it's labor. I don't think it's HR. They might include some HR people in the labor stuff, but it's almost always the lowest laborers. They get fucked.
Just go to the schools and check in. Why do schools need guidance counselors? They don't.
Why do schools need guidance counselors? Guidance counselors help children like bridge the gap between high school and college, and also for someone to talk to and have therapists. Like, what, man? Yes, they do. Virtue signal.
I disagree with that, personally.
Well, I had guidance counselors when I was in middle school and high school, and do you know how many times I went to them?
So Dave's personal failing of being like a sociable person that got help through school, it didn't happen. Are you surprised? Exactly, yeah. Big cell phone.
Never?
Yeah, you're damn right.
Okay.
It shows.
I mean, you know what, though? Okay, because people always have this conversation about, like, when it comes to gun rights, you know, about how we need to have more of a focus on mental health and shit, rather than, like, trying to, like, you know, take people's gun rights away. I mean, do you not agree that, like, mental health is something that we need to, like, focus on in this country to make sure that people don't go fucking wacko and do that type of shit?
Yeah. What's your take on mental health, Dave?
Because otherwise, you know that they're going to come for your gun rights.
Okay, I will agree with you to a certain extent, but yes.
Huge cell phone?
Screw it. I don't want to play anymore.
Wait, what?
I think that before we take people's guns away, we need to focus on if this person is going to put a bullet in their brain.
So that's mental health.
That starts when they're when the kids.
But
it's a valuable position to have somebody on the fucking school ground like that. Honestly.
But most people that die by guns don't die because of a mental health issue. They die in a gang shootout.
Yeah, screw bucket.
Okay.
Just make shit up. They die in a gang shootout. That's right. That's how people die. Any of you died in a gang shootout?
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, I do feel like just having a focus on like, actually valuing people's like mental health and having accessible resources is just, it's not going to fix the issue.
Yeah,
but it'll fix a whole lot of other ones.
But also, here's the other problem: if we coddle everyone's mental health issue, then no one grows. You only grow through pain.
Another virtue signal. You only grow through pain. Dave, what kind of pain have you gone through, man? Name some pains you've gone through.
Yeah, but people need. You're right. Okay, I understand what you're saying because I don't think that when it comes to
Underhaven, you're.
Teach me, Daddy.
All right, Underhaven, with all the love in the world, you worm up when you talk to Dave. You worm up to him. You're like, you give him way too much of the benefit of the doubt, and you don't fucking push back hard at all. I believe the stat is at home by accidental discharge. That's way toxic masculinity. I agree.
to like how society is going right now, that it's always being done in the productive manner. I do think it's important for people to be able to emote themselves and learn how to cope with their emotions, but I don't think they're being taught in the right way, if that makes sense.
I agree with you.
I don't think that's like to say that to not focus on it at all is to just throw out the baby with the bathwater. Like we
no,
really
I'm
do
not
need
saying,
to make.
I'm not saying don't focus in.
Well, I got that impression.
But the problem is I don't think kids need therapy because the class hamster died.
Okay.
I hope you have a fantastic
Manic
day.
Jack Attack, thanks for going to Manic City Murals. I do think that you can help children through bereavement with like therapy and like understanding mortality and shit. It's real. Yeah, that's really stupid, man.
Well, I mean,
what if they're upset? You know, it's worth talking about. Like, obviously, Dave's tact is just like, well, kid, shit dies. Get used to it. And it's like, well, I mean, thank you, Manic, again.
Well, no, I mean, I don't think it ever gets that fucking. I don't think it's ever been like. I don't want to say ever, but
He's petting the shit out of that baby.
I'll give you an example of my own life.
Your friend died when you were a kid?
I don't think kids need therapy when a classmate passes away from cancer.
Yeah, dude. You've brought this up so much, you clearly need therapy about this. I big disagree. He's brought this specific trauma up several times to try to use cancer kid that died as a cudgel 30 years ago, 40 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Like, hello, man? Yeah, anyway, that's a yikes from me.
Which I had.
Mm-hmm. Was it your good friend? Nope, just a classmate. I actually had several classmates die in school. No close friends, but definitely like, we were kind of a small town, so peers that I knew well. Many of them, I had like 4 people die in car accidents. I can remember 2 of them. Who were the other 2? Oh, 3? And then 1 died of cancer. Oh, I remember all 4 now. And then another one died right after graduation in a car accident. And then we had some people die of overdoses. Damn, Jake, it's not a race. Yeah, I mean, well, it happens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it does suck. But that's what I'm saying. Like, people, like, things happen and you just need to talk to people about it. Luckily, I mean, my mental health is pretty good, I think. So I was able to cope with that shit because it didn't hit me super close, and I was able to talk to my friends and stuff about it and help them through it more than helping me through it.
I mean, it would depend how fucking close you were to that individual. You know what I mean?
Good buddy of his.
What did he say? I don't know.
Okay,
but he's dead. What am I going to talk about?
Also,
what am I going to talk about? How did it make you feel, Dave?
Also, your experience is going to be different from somebody else's. Would you think less of okay, let's say you had a female classmate. Would you think less of her if she was feeling bad about it for a few months at least? I don't think that you'd really judge somebody for. Okay, then yeah. I mean, some people do need just even a little extra help when it's like a situation like that, especially if you're dealing with death for the first time. You know what I mean?
But also, I also think that
he hasn't progressed past teenage brain.
A lot of the things that kids, I don't know, go to their counselors for or need counselors for, is just bullshit. Get over it.
Okay, what does getting over it mean to you? Like, just ignore it?
Oh, somebody said a bad word, or somebody said a speech you didn't like.
A speech?
Words are not violence, sweetheart. Get over it.
Sweetheart. Oops. Words are not violence. What? Some words are definitely violence. Yeah, it totally depends. There's a big difference between, like, just saying some words and, like, harassing someone.
I think in a lot of cases,
getting over it with actualjake. Classic. Fresh cracked black pepper.
the reason for like oversensitivity when it comes to that shit is just the practicality of these government institutions trying to dodge lawsuits and shit like that. But I mean,
it's not a lawsuit. They'll get a lawsuit if they don't let the guy talk because of the First Amendment.
What?
No, I'm talking about. You know, I mean, they set up fucking grief counselors because Charlie Kirk wanted to give a talk.
Grief counselors? That doesn't sound like reality, man. Grief for Charlie Kirk giving a talk? Sounds more like they probably just had some counselors around and people were like, man, I don't want this douchebag to be at my school. Makes me feel bad.
Whoop-de-doo. Either don't go to his talk and order pizza and watch, I don't know, Highlander that night.
Was that at a college or a high school or what?
It was actually at a college. I don't
Let's see it.
believe Charlie Kirk has ever spoken at high school.
I mean, all right, yeah.
And
I mean,
okay, I get it.
Sure,
I'm
that's
now
true,
in
it's
another.
ridiculous.
I'm now in another realm because colleges are private institutions. But my high school gave me plenty of speakers I didn't agree with, and I was forced to listen to them. But I was just like, well, that speech was bullshit, and fuck you.
well, I mean, look, even if that fucking story is true, there's a difference here, like you said, between a private institution and a public institution. I care way more about like what's being said.
Why are adults being given grief counselors because a speech they voluntarily attended was given by somebody they disagree with? And
all right, I gotta look this up. Grief counselors, Charlie Kirk. Is there any news? Okay, there's literally 0 news articles on grief counselors Charlie Kirk on Google.
I
0?
hope you have a fantastic day.
This isn't a thing. Show me evidence of this. Just make shit up. Manic Jack Attack, giving one to Calavera Kid. Going crazy, dude. Thank you. So he just made it up. That's true.
by the way, I would like to point out I am not the biggest fan of Charlie Kirk in the universe.
Oh, wow. Not the biggest one in the universe? Manic again. Give one to Najra. Chat, you're a couple people joining in away from a little bit of momentum. Just saying.
So,
That's fair. Well, look, I mean,
Appreciate it, Jack.
it's not the sole cause, but I feel like the 2016 election like irreversibly damaged our culture in a way that people are just going increasingly into their own insular echo chambers.
I think actually it broke the egg. It was
broke the egg?
It was always there. It was always building. I seen it beforehand.
What? You were anti-Trump before Trump came out. What? You were anti-Trump, man.
Because I've been on YouTube since 2008. I seen it beforehand of these fucking snowflakes.
The snowflakes. You're a snowflake. Dave, you are the most emotional person on the platform. There is not a more emotional individual on YouTube than Dave Nordel. He's literally a snowflake. He screams every day. Yelling is the free space.
It's now the egg's broken, and now...
You're corned, Najra. Corned! Get fucking Cobb, dude.
What's even worse is the millennials, the last of the millennials, and Gen Z are getting out in the real world and realizing the real world, because it's capitalist, doesn't get...
It's 2024. Getting out in the real world? Millennials done been out for 20 years, man. It's been 20 years. The millennials.
Give a rat's ass
Ooh, rat's ass.
about your beliefs.
What?
You know, and this is why they idiotically push for a failed system known as socialism.
That was a non sequitur. Those two things don't make sense. Those puzzle pieces, you just crammed those together. There was no like, this happened, therefore. You know what I mean? You just said two things.
And communism.
Have I at least fucking convinced you that Hitler wasn't a socialist?
No,
On anything but
Hitler
name?
was a national socialist. I'm always going to give him that label.
I'm always going to give him that label because I've had that opinion, and I'm not going to be able to move off that opinion because it's not manly to change your opinion, even when you're wrong. It's manly to keep wrong opinions, Dave. That's right.
Okay,
Hitler wasn't a capitalist. He wasn't a communist. He hated communism. So okay, what would you describe Hitler as?
A fascist.
A fascist.
Okay, I would say he was part. He was part of fascistic socialism.
Yeah, man, that's not comparable. Those aren't the same thing. Socialism does not decree an ethno-state. Socialism gives the means of production to the workers, not to the state. You're talking about like a controlled economy from like an authoritarian communist perspective? I am not an Authcom. Anarcho-socialism by no means would look like what is happening in fucking Nazi Germany. It's an imperialist war machine. They were literally trying to fucking take land. Is North Korea democratic? Well, it is called the Democratic People's Republic.
But I'm not letting up on that socialism label on him.
Well, that's just because you're fucking stupid, man. That's because you're brain dead. I swear to God, if he blew his brains out, he'd get smarter.
If you want to call him a national socialist by technicality, fine. But you know what? Here's what I'm actually trying to get out of you. Do you acknowledge that he is different, is significantly fucking different from the fucking socialism that you associate with the people on the left today? Do you at least acknowledge that it's entirely fucking different?
When I drink.
I'm smart when I drink. Look, I just want to say socialism bad, okay? I'm cucked by a Tyrone known as capitalism. Wow. Dude, when you say Tyrone, it's hard for me even to utter it because he's so fucking racist about it.
At the moment, I will say yes.
Okay.
But
you'll say that Nazi.
let's just say there's been some troubling signs on
Please clip I'm smart when I drink. That is clipped. That's already clipped. 360 biddies.
the left that you will at least acknowledge.
Yeah, it wasn't diegetic. That was a dono.
So there's the historical fact that he basically did just co-opt the term. It's undeniable that he's much closer to the fascist ideology that Mussolini had, if not
closer. He just is.
Exactly.
Well, actually, you know what's funny is you do know Hitler's whole thing wasn't just against Jews, right?
Right.
Yeah, he had problems with a lot of people, Romani people, black people.
No,
Yeah,
there was like 8 black people in Germany, so who the hell knows what happened to them?
$24,000 black people were living in Germany. Roughly. 24,000. Black Germans. Right?
I'm smart when I drink.
Are you
It was a lot of different groups.
But it was also political dissidents that he killed.
Yeah, man. You hear yourself? That's fascism, man. Yeah.
Yeah, he killed a lot of fucking people.
And that is the biggest problem that I'm seeing on the left is...
What? Who are we killing? Who has been killed, Dave? You're alive? Do you think if we were rabid fucking murderous leftist revolutionaries that you would be living right now? Are you kidding me? I would have sent an Antifa super soldier to your house. They would have already taken care of you, okay? I have Antifa super soldiers on standby, dude. They're ready. They got fucking like those like karambit knives they spin around in their fingers and shit. They got switchblades. They got barbed wire bats. They'll get you.
While they won't outright kill them yet.
Dave, if the revolution starts, you're going to be dead in moments. Okay?
They have a big. They take glee in trying to cancel them.
Canceling people is like Nazi Germany. Canceling is as bad as the Holocaust. That's right. You heard it here first.
Or demonizing them.
Uh-huh.
You know, and this kind of like, I'm glad that you brought that up. I'm really glad that you brought that up because, you know, a lot of the fucking political dissidents that were actually killed by Hitler were a lot closer to the fucking socialists that you would identify people as today than whatever you would identify him as in regard to socialism.
Not just close. They were actually socialists. Like, he literally killed socialists.
He killed a lot of people who are left wing who identified as socialists.
Can I ask you a question?
No, because you're just avoiding the fucking conversation. Nice.
Why are you so desperate to get the socialist label off of Hitler? You know socialism is a failed ideology, and honestly, I could bring up far worse socialists like Pol Pot.
Pol Pot was a communist.
Why are you so desperate to get it off?
Pol Pot was not a socialist, right? Just a dictator. He was also an ethno-nationalist, of course. Yeah, communist. Told you. Since I've been alive, the right has tried to cancel rock and roll, D&D, Pokemon, books with the magic in them, and in many other things, the right is the cancel king. Oh, also LGBTQ stuff, trans stuff, obviously just stuff from other races. Yeah, 100%. No pickles. Absolutely true. Chat, you have momentum still. It's happening.
Of Hitler.
All right, interesting conversation, right? Because I don't identify as a socialist. I'm not a socialist myself.
Coward.
Okay, well
what do you...
I came in here and had to prove you wrong because you're simply wrong.
Okay, so it was just a case of proving me wrong.
Yeah, because it's not even for my own ego, man. I don't want you to keep going around and saying something that's just not true.
Well, I'm sorry, but for my mind, Hitler was a National Socialist.
Yeah, you're fucking dumb, man. You're just so stupid.
I am never going to detach the socialist label from Hitler.
Yeah, because you find it, like, politically expedient or something to be inaccurate about this. You know? Because you find it to be like, haha, you have Hitler. But it's like, no, man, you align with Hitler's beliefs. You say racist shit all the time. Like, you're literally a fascist, an authoritarian. You like authoritarianism.
Before you were saying Hitler's a socialist, now you're saying Hitler's a national socialist. I feel like I've made progress here. So,
well,
because I can't, you know what? When you say that, I can't technically say that you're wrong. I can't technically say that you're wrong. But what you were saying earlier when you said that he was a socialist, no national party. I feel like I've explained this numerous times.
Coors Mountain.
It was fantastic day.
Rumlum, give him a big brain day.
Co-opting the term to try and take advantage of middle class people who didn't know any better in Germany and were fucking poor as shit. What a surprise! Fucking dumb, gullible people were taken in by the socialist label when it wasn't actually what it was meant to be.
Oh, jeez, yes, and well, yeah, actually, it was, and honestly, if you remove Hitler from the World War II equation, then do you know what Germany most likely becomes? Because the Weimar Republic, I'm assuming you would agree, was doomed.
Yeah, it was a failed liberal democracy.
Can you imagine liberals failing?
Becomes communist.
Underhaven? It doesn't become communist, man. It would have been a social democracy just like the rest of the European nations. When he says remove Hitler from World War II, he means the Nazis.
Communism?
Yeah, that was the second most popular political party in Germany at the time.
That is true. There were a lot of fucking communists there. I can't deny
It
that.
wouldn't have been a communist nation.
A lot of them sent to the concentration camps.
Yeah, he killed a lot of those political dissidents. I'm sure there were a lot of fucking.
Do you support that, Dave? Do you support the killing of communists by Hitler? Underhaven. You gotta push back.
Socialists adjacent to those
Which is
people, a lot more
odd
moderate
because
people who died,
Karl
too.
Marx, the father of communism, one of the biggest pieces of shit in human history, he was actually German.
So why do you think that he would kill all these like communists and democratic socialists and all these like left of center people?
Well, there were
if-
no democratic socialists, let's be honest.
There are so many democratic socialists. There have been. There will be. What, man?
I mean, there was like a preamble. to-
Germany didn't exist when he was born? What do you mean? You didn't think Karl Marx observed Germany before it was a thing?
Yeah, there were people who believed in liberal democracy, but still wanted more
why
elements
would
of
Hitler
socialism.
kill communists? Because it was associated with the Russians.
Okay, do you support the killing of communists? Yeah. He said Karl Marx was the biggest piece of shit in history in a conversation about Hitler. Just saying.
I mean, as if you want an answer, that was it. And he considered the Russians Slavs, and Slavs were of the Untermensch. The Untermensch were basically like, oh god, it was like Slavs, Jews, Gypsies, and there was a fourth one.
There's a slur?
I'll just go out on a limb and say homosexual.
No, wait, there was a social democratic. There still is a social democratic party of Germany. It's been around since the 1800s.
Probably
Yeah, man.
fine. Yeah, but
They killed a lot of them.
you couldn't have been open about it if you were in the fucking between, you know.
What do you mean open about it? You just denied their existence, and now you're like, well, yeah, they existed. Dumbass. This guy.
Not if you were in Nazi Germany.
That's the point I'm trying to make to you, though. These terms, especially when it comes to party names, they change and evolve. I'm sure you wouldn't call fucking North Korea democratic, right? But they have it in the name. It's like a lot of the time these things rise up and they try to prop up a type of regime that they're going to.
So important for you to get socialists away from Nazism.
It's so interesting that this is what you go to. This is a deflection, David. Why do you even care about proving me wrong on a thing I'm wrong about?
Despite the fact that the Nazis did use socialist tactics.
It doesn't
What socialist tactic was used by the Nazis?
have any
And
benefit.
did have
to
a socialist
tactic?
style government. Although I will concede it was a heavily fascistic socialist style government.
Oh, he'll concede that Nazi Germany was fascist. Wow. Very magnanimous.
But it was a socialist style government.
It wasn't socialism. To have an ethno-state and to give only Aryan race people health care is not, in fact, socialism. It's fascism. Just what it is, man. Like, I thought you didn't like the redistribution of wealth. Do you know the Nazis stole all the wealth from these people? Literally. And redistribute it to German families? Nazi families, specifically? Socialism isn't when you only give your looted goods to white people, right?
Relating socialism and authoritarianism. I have no idea why you're doing this.
Great job, Underhaven. There you go. Fuck yeah. Now you're starting. Let's go. Immediately hit him with it. Beautiful. Stop giving him the benefit of the doubt. Perfect.
These two things do not necessarily go
Because
hand in
the
hand.
It takes a little while to get warmed up. The liberal engine runs a little cold. You know what I'm saying?
The way socialism survives is under authoritarianism.
That's just simply not true. There are social democracies all over the world. Germany is one of them right now. The Nordic countries, all the other European countries, Canada, UK. Although they're trying to privatize shit and they're running into this shithole ground.
That's not true.
Okay, name me one time where people have freely worked for the benefit of each other. Ever.
All right.
On a
yes.
Native Americans. Boom. Also, yeah, all of human history. I mean, we've done it forever, but like, yeah.
large scale.
let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this country and a lot of these fucking states that you think are like doomed to fail because of fucking socialism. There are like people openly and actively fucking engaging in states where there's more fucking social programs than where you live. In Massachusetts, for example, there's Mass Health, which is basically a state option for healthcare, and that was actually invented by Mitt Romney.
No. That's only for the poor. And
it's not.
No, Mass Health? No, it's not. It's a state option. Am I stupid? Mass Health. Medicaid and the Children's Health Insurance Program are combined to one program called Mass Health. Wow, I'm looking at a bunch of forms and shit. Sign up for email notifications. Yeah, I just think you have to be a member of the state. Yeah, anyway, you can just apply for Mass Health. You can just apply for it.
And it's terrible. I have the same thing in my state. It's called
Rural Spain before the fascist takeover, communist or syndicalist rather. Yeah, syndicalist. Well, syndicalist is close to like social democracy in a lot of ways. It's just it's just a level of socialism that you have, kind of.
called MinCare.
Maybe your state just fucking sucks because Mass Health's actually pretty fucking good for what I can tell. It's a viable option. No, you don't have to be fucking poor to have.
God, I hope we get Michigan healthcare. It would change everyone's life in this state.
Well,
also
we're working towards it, man. We're getting close to it's got to be coming up. We're chipping away at all the lefty policies in this state, and it's going well.
Massachusetts is one of the smallest states in both terms of size and population. So, again, this is attempting something on a very small scale.
Yeah, but that's not even, part of the fucking point that I was making to you.
Obamacare, which was actually, it's funny, Obamacare, which was
Why are you talking about Obamacare?
largely off of that.
You're talking about so Obamacare is a federal registry, and then Obamacare includes some provisions that, make healthcare more accessible to people, like not being able to deny someone for a prior health problem. Like, for instance, yourself. And just the way you are.
Done by Mitt Romney, you are correct. And Obamacare has been a fucking disaster!
It really hasn't, actually. Obamacare has been fine. Obamacare has actually helped a lot of people. The Affordable Health Care Plan has absolutely helped people. Michigander here. What's going on with healthcare here? But nothing's going on. We're chipping away at all the lefty policies here in Michigan, and sooner or later, we're going to be talking about state-run healthcare in this state, for sure.
Yeah, but you were trying to make the point is that the only way that this ever fucking happens, or policies like that ever happen, is under authoritarianism.
You can't just admit the L that Obamacare has been a disaster. It was
of course. Whoa. Of course.
I disagree. The disaster about Obamacare was Republicans gutting the program as it went through Congress. The worst part about Obamacare is the half measures, but it's definitely more helpful than what we had prior to it.
I hope you have a contact.
Manic Jack Attack, give one to Caden.
Of course it was a fucking disaster, and I'm not a fucking fan of Obama, so I don't know where you're getting that from, but yeah, no, Obamacare was
I'm not a fan of Obama either, but Obamacare is good. I mean, it's not good. It's better than this healthcare we had prior.
Last year, but it also wasn't what it was originally intended to be. It was botched into probably one of the worst policies in a recent history, honestly. So yeah, no, I mean, it sucked, but Trump's reforms didn't seem that.
Can Dave explain what he thinks Obamacare did wrong? No, he's gonna say specifically the mandate on it that they always try to say, you have to pay your tax mandate or whatever. It's not really.
That's much fucking better. He didn't seem to have any fucking ideas of what to actually do with it. He just wanted to get it gone because it was something his predecessor did.
All I'll say is, under Trump, I had
I'll say
more money in my pocket. Prices were a lot lower, and everything was a lot better, and the world was a lot more stable. And
dude, it's crazy that you think like this. Under Trump, I had more money. So now you're struggling, Dave? I thought you were doing so well. It's pretty interesting. He does so well all the time, and now suddenly he's struggling? In 2020? Yeah, there was no stability under Trump, man. That's not true.
Under Joe Biden, and we have gone completely off the rails now because we're supposed to be discussing a single topic.
Yeah. I'm still on this idea that these types of policies can only happen under authoritarianism, because we've plainly seen that, especially just in this country alone, that certain states have more fucking social policies, and people voted for those policies to get in. You can have a liberal democracy.
You said voted.
Yes, they voted.
Yeah, and so people get what they vote for.
Yes, and sometimes that involves more government control if that's what they're voting for.
Yeah, but
It does not necessarily have to translate into fucking authoritarianism at the end of the day. It can.
It
Doesn't
will.
have to. Does not.
Dude, the way that these two talk about electoral politics is very interesting.
Not have to.
But also for
Depends
socialism,
what-
you still haven't disproved my point that socialism needs authoritarianism to survive.
I
disagree.
just debunked your fucking point.
Capitalism does not.
Capitalism absolutely thrives under authoritarianism.
1 second, I have to go get my food. I'll be right back. Go put up the kissing lesbians or something.
Actually, screw it. I actually will go to the bathroom.
Piss break?
All right, I'm back.
One ableism away.
All right, how do you guys in the chat feel like I'm doing? Am I doing okay? Is there anything I need to bring to his attention? Have I not stuck the point home enough about the whole socialism thing? I'm not even a fucking socialist. I'm making this argument. I just don't want him to be going around saying the dumb fucking wrong shit, you know? I don't.
You should be a socialist, by the way.
Welcome back, Dave. I hear a couple of Dave noises. A Dave noise or two.
How could you? I had the sound off. Anyway.
Okay.
Dick Growl. Oh, no.
All right. So,
Almost.
yeah, well, my food's here, but I mean, I'll still talk to you for a little bit. But yeah, no, I feel like I've kind of like debunked this, because even in some places where, yeah, sure, having more social programs and less privatization doesn't always work. There are places where it's like successful, and these places still function as republics. They still engage in forms of democracy.
But that wasn't Hitler's government, now was it?
Bunch of that today.
Well, Hitler just chose to take all the fucking power for himself.
I mean, that's not really what happened. Okay, Hitler took a lot of power, but like other Nazis had lots of power. Whatever.
It always happens in socialist governments.
It's not a socialist government, man.
A socialism needs authoritarianism to survive. There is not a single socialist government that either A, didn't start out outright as authoritarian, or B, didn't become authoritarian, because nobody would fucking work.
So you agree? So you think that authoritarianism is good to make people work?
But there are successful countries that are republics that are engaged in democracy, that do engage in...
Name one!
Well, here's the fucking thing. You're trying to conflate... You're trying to get me to like define an entirely fucking socialist country, and I'm just trying to say... I'm just trying to tell you that fucking elements of socialism can work within existing countries.
Yes, elements can, and I would have agreed with you at the get start!
What element of socialism do you think is beneficial for a country, Dave?
America! The greatest country to ever fucking exist has elements of socialism in it!
What do you like about it?
But there has not been a single country or a single socialist society that has been successful.
Okay. So, like, prior to capitalism, you would say that there's just been no country able to do capitalism successfully, you know? What is socialism to this guy? I don't know.
I could say the same.
Like, is Australia socialist
thing? There has not been an entirely capitalist society that has ever been successful. There's
Well,
always
I don't know. It seems to me that capitalism in 250 years brought us from the founding fathers and writing on hemp paper and quill pens with squid ink to where we are right now.
Technological advance has occurred outside of capitalism many times. Socialism needs authoritarianism to survive. Dave, are you confusing fascism or capitalism with socialism? Yes.
I'm saying it's been
What?
pretty fucking successful.
Oh, that was a
America is not a purely capitalist country at this point.
That was a Poonage's situation.
And perhaps never
It's
was.
mostly capital, and it's mostly capitalistic. And
My argument to you is that I think it's a nuanced conversation of how much government control, where to put it, and where it's worth putting, where it's worth investing, and where we need to focus more on individual personal liberties for people. And I think that you're just trying to make a very incredibly nuanced, gray discussion. You're just trying to make it black and white like you do with a lot of things, and I'm tired of it.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of issues
that.
do just delve down to black and white.
No, they don't.
What works and what doesn't.
Certain things works in certain contexts, and sometimes they don't work in other contexts. Everything is situational.
At the end of the day, it comes down to a black and white decision.
It doesn't, actually. That's not true.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you, is that at the end of the day,
The end of the day.
it's a loss or it's a gain. You know.
No, man.
I feel like we're lost in the sauce at this point. No politician wakes up every day and they're like, all capitalism or all socialism, you know? Almost nobody.
But they also go, okay, we have some homeless. We have like 100 homeless people in our town.
Mm-hmm.
How do we deal with it?
If we force this restaurant to feed all of them, they will go out of business.
What? If we force a restaurant to feed homeless people? Who's doing that? What are you talking about? What a crazy hypothetical.
And we will lose a tax revenue.
What?
AKA, it's a bad idea to force the restaurant to feed all of them.
No one's doing that. Ah, yes, food. The perfect house. Some Candyland-ass houses.
Even though in a socialist mind, it'd be a good idea to feed all of them. Because of the short-term benefit of them, you know, being not hungry. However, in the long term, now the restaurant is out of business, and we don't get the tax revenue.
Well,
which is a long-term problem, a.k.a. black and white. Longer is better. Go with that.
You can't just take a normal piece of the industry and bend it over to fix it being a more public fucking system.
Also, 100 people wouldn't cost that much for a restaurant to feed anyway. Right, of course not.
And expect it to work.
You won't go out of business for feeding 100 people. But also, like if for instance, like a Waffle House, if the government was like, Waffle House, you must give 100 people food, or like a mom and pop shop, they would subsidize it. Yeah, the city would pay them or something. Yeah, of course.
By the way, you are aware some things are just black and white. You are aware.
Like, you're stupid. There's no like qualifier. You aren't a little smart. You're just dumb as fuck. I agree. Black and white.
And you're aware that far more things than you'd like to admit are black and white.
Give me an example, and other than what we've been talking about right now, and I'll see.
Okay, you would view child molestation as bad.
Of course, yeah. That's one of the very few black and white things that's always bad.
You would view murder as bad.
No, sometimes you can kill motherfuckers. Yeah.
And I'm talking about actual person talking about actual person. I will leave abortion out of this.
He's saying actual person, fully recognizing that they're not people.
Yes,
actual fucking murder is bad.
Really? Okay. Let's say you come home one night. Do you have any siblings? Can I ask?
Oh my god.
That? Do you have
nope, I'm an only child. I'm an only child, but I have family, so whatever.
Okay, so let's mom, dad, both of them.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's say you come home one night and or you're visiting your parents and you walk in and somebody's about ready to stab your dad through his eyeball.
What?
And you have a gun.
Crazy hypothetical.
And you fire.
Fantasize about violence.
Are you guilty of murder or not?
No.
I mean, I don't know about the technical definition, but I would say that's not murder.
Okay.
Yeah, man, that's
so. Then
I'm not against self-defense.
There's a bit of gray.
There's not
on murder, aka the killing of another human being.
No one would think that's murder. There's no premeditation or malice there. It is self-defense or defense of another. So like a gray area? Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Isn't that crazy, dude?
Yeah, that's a
He
point.
He literally switched positions. I know, right?
Gray.
That's a point in my favor, actually. But yes, I agree.
What if a father who finds
He
out
literally cell
That's
phoned.
a point in my favor, actually.
the killing of another human being
Yeah, that's a
being a
point in
little
my
bit
favor.
gray?
That's a point in my favor, actually. But yes, I agree.
He's so fucking stupid. You come home
Your
one.
daddy said that my dick tasted like cherry wine.
You come home one night, Dave, and your parents are home. Oh no, terrible, no. Terrible, dude.
What if a father who finds out his son is being molested by his karate instructor blows him away?
Okay. Dave has said that he did karate, and now he's bringing up a very specific, I was molested by my karate instructor hypothetical. Oddly specific.
Finds out his
Point in my favor, actually. But yes, I agree.
what if a father who finds out his son is being molested by his karate instructor blows him away? Should he go to prison?
Probably not, man. I mean, what's the situation? Like, is he stopping that? Is he hunting this person after the fact? Dave, this is strange.
I wouldn't put. I mean, that's an interesting question.
I'm thinking he's talking about the case from the 90s where the dad shot the guy at the airport. I do not remember this.
A little more gray on that murder.
Yeah, is it it's not really gray. It could be murder. If it's premeditated murder, it's murder. But like, I can be emotionally fine with killing a pedophile while still acknowledging murder is murder, you know? I cannot believe he is arguing with himself. Oogle, this isn't your first Dave rodeo. You can't. He's done this before. He's not consistent on what he thinks. He's just anti whatever the person is saying.
That's an interesting question because I wouldn't give a fuck if that happened. I'd be like, good riddance. But I don't know how I feel about. I don't know.
Let's say you were on the jury. Let's say you were on the jury.
Innocent. No, you don't have. Well, I mean, assuming it's just like, oh, I found out my kid is being molested by someone, and then you go and shoot them. I'm not trying prison time for that person. I would definitely want this person to have counseling and therapy, as well as the child. I would want them not to be able to have access to a gun. I would, like, at least not for a period of time where you assess what's going on, right? Like, I definitely think it's reasonable to take precautions, but prison time for this person? I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I'm against prison in general, but, you know. Gary Plausch. All right. Let me look it up. Gary Plausch. Plauché, maybe? Gary Plauché is an American man known for publicly killing Jeff Doucet, a child molester who kidnapped and raped his son. Yeah, I mean... he was given a 7-year suspended sentence with 5 years probation and 300 hours of community service, receiving no prison time. This seems fine. Some people question whether Plausch should have been charged with murder. Plausch contended that he was in the right, and that any parent... I mean... Plausch, a native of Baton Rouge, was separated from his wife in June at the time of the shooting. His 11-year-old son was taking karate lessons from an instructor. Unbeknownst to Jody's parents, Doucet had been sexually abusing the boy for at least a year. Doucet kidnapped Jody and took him to a motel where he sexually assaulted and molested him. Jody, the focus of the nationwide search, was eventually found after Doucet allowed the boy to place a collect call to his mother from the motel. California police raided the motel and arrested Doucet on February 29th without incident. In March 1st, Jody was returned to his family in Louisiana. In an interview with a news television crew, Gary, having heard reports that Doucet had sexually assaulted his son, stated that he felt a sense of helplessness. 15 days later, Doucet was flown back to Louisiana to face trial. He arrived in Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport and was led in handcuffs by police officers through the airport around 9:30 p.m. where Plauché... It's probably... How do you say this? It's now knowing that it is... Louisiana, I'm thinking Doucet and Plauché. Could be Doucet, but I doubt it. Maybe. They might have a hard T there. Doucet? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Doucet. Plauché. An employee of the local ABC affiliate had told Plauché when Doucet would be... This is like a fucking... some Louisiana stuff, but Boudreaux Thibodeau type shit going on right now. A news crew from WBRZ was waiting for Doucet and had set up cameras to record his arrival. Opposite the crew was a bank of payphones where Plauché... Wow, he fucking pretended to be on a payphone. He walked past the right side of Doucet's head at point-blank range and shot him? With what? Bleeding from a closed wound to his right ear. Plauché placed the telephone receiver down before a police officer restrained him from removing the gun from his hand. And it was just like a revolver or something. Gary, why, Gary? They kept him pinned against the bank of telephones asking him, Gary, why, Gary? Well, I mean, I think I know why. The incident was captured. ENG video Doucet fell into a coma and died from the gunshot wound the next day. Yeah. So it got reduced to manslaughter. That sounds about right. Yeah. I mean, that sounds about right. Okay, now we know. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't blame... I mean, there's a TOS video of it happening. I'm not going to watch it, I assumed. I've never seen it.
Which, by the way...
Yeah, I don't blame him. I'm not emotionally attached to this fucking rapist. I'm just saying, like you could say that's murder, and we plead down to manslaughter. Reasonable. I don't like our prison system. I think, mental health care is definitely the way to go on this one. And you'd like to get out in front of that. Maybe if we had access to mental health care before, this wouldn't have happened to anybody. But,
By the way, this is a real case.
You should watch it for yourself off stream.
That I know how they voted.
Okay. This is a weird hypothetical.
What would you do? What would you do? Would you vote guilty? I mean, he clearly did it. Or would you buy the defense's thing of temporary insanity?
It wasn't temporary insanity. They pled. It was a plea deal.
I don't fucking know, Dave. That's a big fucking heavy question. But
That's not really actually liberal, man.
I feel like the fact that you're presenting me this is just
Slibs.
Yeah,
what the fuck do you want out of me? What do you want out of me?
None of you leftists can ever answer the heavy questions.
Underhaven's not a leftist.
Oh my fucking god! On the fucking spot, you just want me to fucking answer that? I'd have to think about it. Do you know how much fucking time? Wait a minute. You know how much time the people on the jury had?
A father kills his son's garage. Which way you going? Don't think about it. Just give me which way you're going. Go.
I mean, just like
I said, don't think about it. Are you gonna let somebody who killed him go? Are you gonna let the guy that killed him go by reason of temporary insanity, or are you gonna send him to prison? Go.
My gut feeling, I'd prefer to let that guy go. Okay. But I don't know if that's actually. I don't know if that's actually logically consistent.
We've splashed a little bit more white in that black pool.
So, all right. Well, so fucking what though? That's just like my inherent first. That's just my inherent first instinct that I feel because I'm repulsed by what the situation was. Does that make sense? People on the jury had more time to fucking think about that shit than I do. If you just fucking shot them the fucking question, then immediately I'm sure they'd give you a different answer than they did after reflecting upon it for a while. Maybe some people would have the same answer.
No, easily. It's not. I mean, you could say it's a gray area in the law or whatever, but ethically speaking, you can kill the rapist of your child. Like emotionally, that makes 100% sense. It doesn't sound like someone's psycho or a threat to humanity or anything. It sounds like they need mental health care. What I would prefer is a system that prevented all of that from happening through having mental health care access to everyone that was involved, including but not limited to the fucking pedophile that could have had this addressed earlier on in life and never had to go through the abuse cycle that people put kids through when they are pedophiles and shit.
My hot take is that we shouldn't encourage vigilante justice, but I don't
Well, I'm not encouraging vigilante justice.
But I don't see how jail time would help that in this instance, because usually if you send someone to jail, they're just likely going to encounter more violence. So,
Agreed.
The thing you would be is like, okay, man, maybe we should talk through, like, managing your anger. Because, like, even if someone did something fucked up, you have to be like, okay, well, now that you've committed a crime, you're hurting your kid more because,
right?
Like, your kid doesn't.
I mean, it depends on the crime, you know? Right? But like, yeah, I agree. Like, there's definitely. I mean, you're hurting your kid because the government is hurting you for doing that. But like, I agree that there's definitely. It's not the best method of solving that problem. Yeah. It's just like that person's obviously not a threat to society at large. Yeah. From that behavior. Yeah. Unless you rape his kid.
It depends unless he has, like... Because you know how there are, like, people who will look for any excuse that they get to vigilante justice someone? Like, yeah. That could be the case.
There are some of those guys, but they're all looking for, like, immigrants. The guys who crave vigilante justice are like, I wish a motherfucker would, and in my head he's black or Mexican, and it's a man trying to steal my TV or something. Like, yeah. It's always that. Rittenhouse, okay, so the Rittenhouse thing, he went there to instigate.
Yeah, he went there to instigate
That's the
violence.
Fucking problem with Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
You can't instigate violence and then be like, oh, they're attacking me, and then claim self-defense when that's happening. That's just not the case. That's my problem with Rittenhouse.
Like, he specifically...
I'm also I'm against prison for all people.
He specifically brought weapons and drove a long distance knowing that he would involve himself in a physical altercation.
But he's like a kid when he does that, and his parents are psychos that did this to facilitate him to help. So you could see the systemic action. Like, I think, personally, in a perfect world, I would hold the parents responsible for this kid's action and have everyone go through.
Especially if they allowed him to get a gun or helped him acquire guns and shit, like, and facilitated his behavior.
Yeah. Rittenhouse is a threat. Anyway. It's gonna happen. We're gonna get through this guy.
I'm sure. But again, it comes up to the simple fact of...
is you actually saying it again?
Life is full of way more gray. And again,
that's what? Again, life is full of gray. You were saying life is black and white, Dave. That's actually an again. You didn't actually say that at the beginning. You just switched positions in the middle of the conversation. What?
And again, it comes back to the simple fact of,
you're agreeing with me. You're not disagreeing with me.
No, I'm not.
You're not at all. Okay.
So,
all right.
This man. Okay. This man.
I mean, I'd love to know what in the hell you think I'm agreeing with you on.
You just said that it was gray. That. NK Betts needs one.
I was just making the argument to you earlier that
this is slow
the
brain.
world's full of morally gray situations, and you look at them in a lot of them in a black and white sense, and then you give me like several examples, like here's a morally gray situation, here's a morally gray situation, here's a morally gray situation.
Oh yeah, I remember the shit I was saying that I don't believe earlier, because I'm just fucking argumentative and what's the word? Not combative. What's the word I'm looking for? You're obstinate when it comes to this kind of shit.
Like, you're proving my point, not yours.
But
contrarian for sure.
You're also proving my point that it's a morally black and white situation as well. Because
you're not! It's not happening! That is not happening! This is definitely...
I hope you have a fantastic...
While I don't think Underhaven is doing amazing, B grade on this one. This is crazy. Dave is doing the worst I've ever seen. This is crazy. Mr. Whiskers, give one to NK Betts. It worked. Let's go.
Like hell to get the morally gray thing out of you. All right, let's go with another one. Let's go with abortion. When does life begin? When does it end?
What life begins at birth. That is when life begins. Before that, you are not alive. You know how I know? We don't consider that a living person. Like, that's not alive. You're not yourself. You are inside someone else's body. You are a fetus. That's not a person. That has the potential to one day become a person. Yeah, life ends at death.
And, when does life begin? What's your feelings on abortion? Just feeling you out here.
Feeling you out.
So
shut up, boy. Ableism, worries about divorce, all bingos.
my opinion on when life begins is different from when I think that the cutoff point should be to terminate a fetus. Does that make sense? Because
All right.
I'm fine with like what people have been putting around like 20, 25 weeks as like
I put it at 20 weeks.
a usual
No limit on abortion.
standard. Sure, medical exemptions aside, fine.
What?
How many fucking times do I have to hear liberals sit there and debate about personhood or when life starts?
Forever.
Because it doesn't
There's
matter.
the answer,
It doesn't
sadly.
matter if it's a full-grown human being inside of you. No one else has access to your body if you don't consent to it.
If there was a 20-year-old man in your womb, you could abort him.
Yes.
Okay? That's my position. You don't have to have anyone attached to your womb. You just don't have to.
But on a purely technical level, life begins when you're born, Dave.
Life begins when your brain is activated, and that's at 24 weeks.
Life begins when your brain is activated. It is legal to redact Dave because his brain is not activated. Dave is not alive, literally a zombie.
I can have memories of being in their mind.
I think purely on a technical level, we can't mince words here. You're born when you're born, and that's when you're alive. Like we can have the separate moral argument about.
Okay. So
I agree.
You're fine if a woman wants an abortion in the eighth month, purely for cosmetic reasons.
Cosmetic? Yes, I don't care. It doesn't happen, but yes. It's not a thing, but I don't care. No one carries a pregnancy for 8 months and then goes, aesthetically, I'm just not feeling it. That doesn't make any sense, Dave. Like, they're showing well past that. There's complications and hardships that come with being pregnant. Like, you think it's some sort of flippant idea, but it wouldn't be an aesthetic situation. If someone gets an abortion in 8 months, 99% of the time it's medical.
It isn't illegal.
1% of the time, and that's probably not even true, but I guarantee there is a percentage of people in the 8 month of abortion that get abortions not for prophylactic reasons, not because they're just over it, but because their life situation changes, right? Like, that could definitely happen. I think Dave's Idiocy just crashed Twitch on my phone. Fuck. Ooh, what's that happening?
For cosmetic reasons?
AKA personal choice. I don't want the baby anymore. That type of reasoning.
Whoa, wait. What about what I fucking suggested to you that that's the fucking case?
Okay, so you do think that there is a point where women lose the choice to I do think a cosmetic abortion. I'm just going to call it an elective abortion.
Okay, I think that there should be a general, I suppose, limit to that. Other than, like I said, medical exceptions. Those as long as those are specified properly in the law too. Like this needs to be there needs to be. I need to make sure that no one who is
No.
Fuck. I don't know if Underhaven watches your VODs, but I'm gonna say it again.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say it.
Thank you for saying it, and so I don't have to, please.
I have to say it every fucking time.
Thank you.
No one is carrying a baby for 8 fucking months and then randomly deciding to abort without serious life circumstances or health circumstances. This does not happen, and trying to legislate these fucking here's only the scenarios we will allow will then mean that you have to legislate for every single extenuating circumstance when it comes to abortion, which then means you have people stuck fighting in the legal system when they're dying of sepsis to abort a fucking baby because everyone has to now argue about the validity of someone getting a baby aborted even though the pregnancy will not be viable.
I agree.
And you know what? Here's my craziest hypothetical for an elective abortion that late. Someone is raped, kidnapped, held against their will, and finally seeks freedom and is free at 8 months and wants to abort. They should get to.
Right, but obviously Dave would be opposed.
Yeah.
And Republicans are opposed.
But no one is carrying a fucking baby for 8 months and not getting an abortion before that. If they are trying to get an elective abortion that late, it's because they've had to fight barriers to abortion before that. Because so many times they're like, oh, you have to get 3 back-to-back ultrasounds before you can get a fucking abortion. Oh, it looks like you went too late over the limit because we made you schedule a bunch of.
But that's what the point is.
Yeah.
Of the bureaucracy is to make sure that they can limit access.
Caught up in the red tape so you can't get the fucking abortion.
Exactly.
Like, and that, it just doesn't fucking happen. And the post-birth abortion myth is literally just about palliative care for infants that will not survive birth. Like, that's literally just how can we ease the suffering of a being that is about to die?
Right. Usually they have like Harlequin's disease or some other like
a developmental disorder.
You know, they could be born with like heart problems, brain problems, whatever that just makes
like
it so that they're not a viable human being.
An issue with the skull or something like that. It's a non-viable fetus.
Yeah.
So
you think Dave will have a fucking abortion conversation with Sarah? There's no way.
Did this? I talked with him about this. I had an argument with him about this, and he's still a fucking idiot about it because he doesn't listen. He's stuck in his ways. And even though he tries to pretend to be some edgy guy who doesn't care about life, he's like, "Oh, I agree with the death penalty."
So is life sacred or not, Sarah?
But then he's like so up his own ass and so like offended when you say, "I want no limits to abortion," because he's like a Christian conservative who it emotionally like triggers him.
Yeah, he gets mad
that there should be no limit to abortion. Anyway, yeah, I don't think that women who are dealing with health complications should have to fight the legal system in order to get health care in an emergency situation and have to go through the red tape and the bureaucracy.
What a hot take.
This is like my one topic I will fucking...
This isn't your one topic.
Fight.
Stop pretending that you're not some kind of fucking debate lord.
No,
okay.
But I mean, this is...
Stop pretending. It's not your one topic. You have many topics. Feminism. Baldur's Gate. Fucking Destiny, fucking Final Fantasy, fucking Gaza, fucking social. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You're always fighting the fight. You need to make peace with this, your warrior half. Okay? If you like this rant and other rants like it, subscribe immediately so I can buy her treats. Or biddies like that. Thank you, Mr. Whiskers. I suspect Dave will be a Christian nationalist this time next year. I mean, he is right now, so I agree with you. Or you can follow her on Twitter.
I hope Underhaven also,
because she'll be in chat. She'll be in chat. Like, you can click on her face and press follow, because I'm sure she will stream at some point to talk about issues like this, because everyone likes when Sarah streams. And if you only streamed like a few times a month, you'd make your payout and you would enjoy yourself. And so would everyone else. Thank you, Profiley Face. I demand you spend this $1 on getting that young lady chicky nuggies. All right. All right. You better believe I will. And Altered Rim says, and maybe Sea of Thieves stream. Dude, she's playing too many video games right now. She got back into Destiny. She won't even play. She won't shoot bugs with me, dude.
Okay, it's because I raid 3 times a week now. And that's a lot of my video game time, and after that, I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to sit in my cave and not speak.
I'm included in that, by the way. Yeah. All right. Thank you for the biddies.
An actual medical problem is forced to give birth. If I can get that assurance, fine. But other than that, no, you're born when you're born. I feel like that is almost a separate but related conversation from what you're trying to talk about here. Because sure, there's some morality of like terminating a fetus that is close to being born, but it has not yet been born by technicality.
I tend to think if you do an elective abortion after 20 weeks, yeah, you're guilty of murder.
Guilty of murder.
That's just me, because that fetus is
black and white.
Is viable.
The fetus isn't viable, Dave. Have you ever taken care of a toddler or a child, Dave? Do you think that's viability? Abortion is not terminating a fetus; it's terminating a pregnancy. Right. Dave is okay with killing people who are wrongly accused of murder, but against late-term abortions. Oh yeah, because he's not consistent, and he listens to Fox News, and so he has this opinion, right?
not technically call it murder, but if you would like to call it immoral, we can have a conversation about that. Maybe
yeah, you're
it
good.
is, maybe it's not.
Now, what's funny is that you're just fine with that, but a guy.
He also said he would be fine being killed after being falsely accused. So you don't care about false accusations, Dave?
Well, let's say, I don't know.
Another trip?
I have a great argument for this.
And rapes.
The death penalty, right?
10 children. Are you against the death penalty?
I'm against the government killing any person.
Let me explain why. I don't trust the government to have that power, and let me explain why you shouldn't either. You think that, Dave, I've heard you make the argument before that you think our country is on the verge of a crisis in terms of, like...
It's a Coors! He switched! Is that an old Coors from way back in the day?
You know, the far left trying to make its grab to take over, right? Do you trust them with that power? The power to kill people?
Look,
I don't.
You better believe you'll be the last death row inmate if I'm ever president, okay? Dave? So now are you for the death penalty? You'll be the very last one. I'll abolish it right after. I asked him this and he cucked out. I know, right?
Yeah.
I trust the evidence.
I trust the evidence. Do you trust the leftist government not to execute you, Dave? That's fascinating. He just licked the boot of big government. I trust the evidence. I trust the judgment of the government. And when they get it wrong, well, that shit happens.
I don't trust any fucking government with that type of power, no matter what it is.
I trust the evidence that has been presented, and when it's conclusive and damning, then it wouldn't take 5 years or 10 years to kill this motherfucker, or 30 years.
Yeah, you'd kill them immediately, and then if you're wrong. You know what I mean? I agree. I think we should expedite Dave's execution immediately.
I'd do it like, I might take one thing from communist China. I'm going to shoot you in a week, and the cost of the bullets will be billed to your family.
Dude, he loves saying this line. He thinks it's so edgy.
That's my view of it.
Why do you think the government should have that type of power?
Just blinking mindlessly.
It's not the government. You broke the fucking law. That's a conscious act.
That's the government's law. Dave, he's so fucking brain dead. All right. Man. I mean, I hope the leftist extremists get to you, man. I really do. Why does this man steal oxygen? I agree. I mean, bury his body underneath a tree that will produce something for the world.
Why do you think the government should have the power to, like, kill its own citizens?
All right, would you be fine with trial by combat?
What? Sure, I'll fucking fight you in combat, Dave. Let's do trial by combat. Sure. Consider it done. Is this going to be an ableism?
We used to have that.
We used to have trial by combat. We didn't actually have that. Who's we, man? No, we didn't.
I mean,
well, okay.
Who had trial by combat? You mean like in a movie? We don't have that. He thinks Game of Thrones is real history. Game of Thrones did. Do you mean like a gun duel? That wasn't trial by combat. That was beef. That's just two guys with beef. Trial by combat. Is he confusing it with dueling? Right, that's just two people that want to kill each other because they're dumb.
What if a dad shot this person? Again, would you
Again! Fine, fuck it, Dave. Swords at goddamn dawn. Knowing your drunk ass, I will be the only one awake, but fine.
You prefer vigilantism?
Rotting in prisons. Rotting in prisons are worse.
No, I want death.
Look at this. Rot in prison or death. Liberal versus fascist. Let's go, baby. Ooh, time for the kumite? Fuck yeah.
And maybe it just comes down to a simple fact that I love revenge.
Right, yeah, you're a boy.
If you really wanted that person to suffer for their crimes, then you wouldn't just kill them.
You have a
Do
boy
I have to
brain.
appeal to this sensibility of yours?
No.
I've heard this conversation before, this part of it.
If you really want that person to suffer, then you need them to fucking pay the consequences of their actions for the remainder of their life.
No.
Totally disagree with that liberal shit.
No. Absolutely
No.
not. If it was up to me, Once the death sentence was handed out,
Trial by combat was a real thing before the 16th century. But yeah, but that wasn't us. 16th century, we weren't. That's 1500s. That's Middle Ages, man. That's not us. We had trial by combat. That's like fucking early colonialism. You're talking Portuguese early colonialism. I think Dave has what they were doing. I think Dave thinks that's what they were doing in the Colosseum. He must mean duels, like, yeah.
They get 30 days for an appeal. If it was denied, then they're immediately escorted to the gas chamber.
What about
You have gas chambers in your hypothetical, Dave? Yeah, you're not a Nazi at all.
all the people? Whoa, she's fucking. What about
hell, I'm more lenient than China.
What about all the fucking people that have What about all the people who have been unfairly fucking killed and were found to later be innocent?
That's just tough.
Life sucks.
I know it's not.
Yep, every time.
I know it's not a
Life sucks. Okay, then fucking let's do it, Dave. just fucking eat the bullet for us so that we can life sucks you.
Oh,
Trial by Yu-Gi-Oh.
that's horrible, man.
What do you
Okay, Dave raped me. Let's go to court. Fuck yeah. There we go.
want?
People have lost their lives over fucking.
Well, do you have the
Government
Necronomicon?
incompetence.
Does the government have the Necronomicon? It's not like we can bring them back.
No, but we can.
You can change your behavior. You can change your behavior, David. It's crazy that you can acknowledge that it's bad for someone to die without evidence, right? And then you're like, well, the Necronomicon, I can't bring him back. Well, what are you going to do?
prevent that from being done in the future.
I believe Dave is a pedophile. I mean, he actually is a pedophile, though. Yeah. This guy talks about age of consent and wanting to fuck teenagers all the time.
So,
You see, the difference between life and prison.
You're willing to let absolute, abhorrent monsters
Like yourself?
not face the justice they deserve, because we might kill an innocent person.
The justice they deserve. I'm not trying to have the government kill anybody.
I don't think the government should have the power to do that, but I wouldn't fucking complain if someone went up and shot that person.
Really? So the government also has the power to declare war,
Yeah, it does.
which
There's supposed to be-
there's a shit ton more people to their deaths.
They're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed.
So that's not the same thing as government-mandated execution, but I agree war is bad to do. Isn't that crazy? What a hot take. And war bad.
supposed to be checks and balances to prevent that from happening. That's supposed to
Well,
hypothetically be done with the consent of the general populace, ideally. But
No, actually,
well, you hope that
there's
your elected
only
officials
one
represent.
chamber that actually decides war.
Liberal. Well, you'd hope that your elected officials would actually listen to the people on as far as the war, because there's so much faith in the system.
And that's the House.
Yeah. So there's definitely ways that you could solve conflicts. So war happens between dumbass men that love fucking nation building in this stupid ass planet with these stupid ass humans. And so war has rules because they can't fucking just not be pieces of shit.
Congress has to be involved too, right?
No, the Senate, as far as I know, does not have to be involved. Congress is the House and the Senate.
Right. Yeah.
I believe only the House has to be involved.
I think both houses have to be involved. Yeah, it's the whole Congress.
In declarations of war, the Senate does, yes. The president, well, George Bush changed a little bit of that, where he said that in dire circumstances, the president can do like so much military action without any sort of oversight, and stupid is fucking dumb.
Congress, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, go ahead, fact check me. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
He's fact checking. Let's go.
Declaring war in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
That hasn't been done in a very long time.
Congress has the sole power to declare war.
Congress entirely. Yeah, I figured.
Okay, now
That's not necessarily true. The Bush administration, along with the direction of Cheney and like Donald Rumsfeld and et cetera, definitely gave George W. Bush and the president some unilateral powers that allow them to wage war on people without congressional approval, and it's stupid and fucking sucks.
What is I don't.
Is that the Patriot Act? I know that's I know that's Homeland Security. Why they can tap all our phones and everything, but like, and Karl Rove. Yeah.
About the times it declared war. How?
I mean, if it specifies Congress, I assume they have to work together. Otherwise, it would just say one of the two.
All right, for the United States, Congress shall have the power to declare war.
It's like 2/3 majority in both, right?
Passage, blah, blah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is he not going to read it because it disagrees with him?
Jargon and red tape.
More legislation, order, declare war.
I'm going to see if I can get an answer real fast.
How does the United States declare war? Yeah, congressional approval. The Declaration of War Clause interpretation. Section 8, powers of Congress. To the extent which clause limits president's ability to use military force. Highly contested. Most people agree, at minimum, the Declare War Clause grants Congress an exclusive power. That is, President cannot, in their own authority, declare war. Although it is not something more contested scholars, whatever. Let's see how much. Okay, so where's first? For example, after the September 11th, 2001 attacks, Congress authorized the president to use force against those who launched the attacks and those who supported or assisted them. Sometimes authorizations are fairly specific, as when Congress authorized President George W. Bush to use force against Iraq. Sometimes they are more open-ended, as when Congress authorized the use of force to protect U.S. interests and allies in Southeast Asia, leading to the Vietnam War. Most people agree that the presidential actions pursuant to some authorizations are constitutional, although more controversially, presidents have claimed authorization from informal or indirect congressional actions, such as the approval of military spending, assets or by congressional leaders, or even Congress' failure to object to ongoing hostilities. Presidents are thought to have the independent authority to use military force in response to attacks in the United States. So this is what they used to deal with the George W. Bush stuff. So it just seems like Congress has to pass it in a majority vote. So it's just a vote, like normal. Oops.
God damn it. All right, I'm going to ask the question again.
Yeah, no, there's nothing.
How does
specifying
the U.S. declare war?
I mean, there's a.
It goes back to the whole sole power of the Congress.
Yeah, I assume that there's a vote held over. I don't know exactly because it hasn't been done in our lifetime. So.
Well, actually, yes, it has. 9/11.
That was. I don't think they formally declared war.
Oh, yes, they did. Yes, they did. Actually, let me back it up. Our lifetimes would have been.
Did we formally declare war? I'm pretty sure they called it a war on terrorism. I don't think it was a war on Afghanistan or Iraq specifically. Right? I thought we did with Afghanistan. We didn't go to war with Afghanistan. We went to war with Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan. War on terrorism. Yeah, I mean, it was obfuscating, right? So, the last formal war declaration was Romania. We in 1942. Yeah. Procedures, declaration of war. Yeah, this is just it says we give Senate vote. So it just has to be majority. It looks like, wow, when we go to war, we fucking go at it, don't we? Romania. We declared all these wars. We've only declared a few wars. War of 1812. We declared war on Mexico, Spain, Germany, Hungary, and then Japan, Germany, Italy, Bulgaria, Hungary, Romania. World War II. We're declaring war on all them fuckers. Let's get it. How come we had 6 people didn't come to the vote? No. Fucking 8 people didn't come to vote for Japan or Germany. Italy, though? Everybody fucking shut it. Look at this. 2 abstained from the Germany vote on the same day, but they were like, fuck those Italians. 2 guys just fucking Fredophobia. 1941.
Seriously?
Let me double check this. Declarations of war by the United States. Let's see if I can find an example. War of 1812, Mexican-American War, Spanish-American War, World War I, World War II.
We didn't declare war against Korea or Vietnam. No. In Vietnam, I don't know if Korea was involved in this, but in Vietnam they allowed the president to take military action in the interest of American, I guess in the interest of American interests in the Southeast Asia. It wasn't an official declaration of war. It's to open the door for the ability to wage war in Southeast Asia. They call them police action. Yeah, it's so stupid.
Technically, the only formally declared wars are not.
Well, then why the fuck was Bush allowed to operate in Iraq so long? Because the president only has 90 days.
Wow, that's a great question, Dave. You should really look into this. Huh? Yeah. Strange that does sound fucked up, doesn't it, man? Huh.
Maybe some bullshit related to the Patriot Act or a related fucking thing they tried to pass, because they took away a lot of fucking rights during that time period. They just washed them away.
Okay, we're undeclared.
Dude, I love that Singing Reaper did not join the Dingo and might get a ding no today.
Wars.
That makes me happy.
All right.
Yes.
Well, hold on. Let me just go back up to the goddamn thing.
Why?
Yeah,
I never.
Declaration of war. All right. I don't know how the fuck the United. Okay. Blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah.
Congress didn't declare war.
Dude, he's blah blah blahing because when he's reading these words, they don't agree with him, and so he can't read them out loud. It's like a form of dissonance.
War on terror.
Okay, so yes, it does require a vote of the Senate and the House.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
it was, yeah. So okay.
So I was wrong.
All right.
Fine, fair enough. I'm assuming by 2/3.
I don't even remember why we were having that argument at this point, but it's all right. I don't know. I feel like we're done here. I've at least gotten you to amend the whole Hitler thing by putting national before, so I can't fault you there. But thanks for listening to me. Maybe maybe consider taking one of these other callers. It'd be fun. 5 minutes with the big guy, maybe. Yeah, that'd be fun. But all right, man. Thanks for having me. Have a good night.
All right.
Take it easy.
Well, that's a ding no. Congratulate. Oh man, look at that ding no. What a thick, heavy ding no. Congratulations, knowers. Singer Reaper, I'm so upset. Look at you. Look at you over here. You miss one stream and this happens. It makes me happy, honestly. I don't know how you earned this serendipity or lack thereof for you. Amazing. That felt bad. All right. What a stream. We did it. Tea? 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 I would love to have a conversation with Dave about all these topics, but he just can't handle it. He literally cannot emotionally take it.